1, 2, 3, lasagna. It's the Island Shuffle's 100th episode spectacular.
Welcome to 100 sodes.
100 sodes for you and for me. Everybody loves 100 sodes. Wow, what do you have to say on this historic occasion, our 100th sode?
If you're just tuning in, you're in for a real treat.
You're in for a real pickle of a day, my friend, because we've watched an episode. For those of you who are you've heard of the hottest podcast on the web.
It's the hottest podcast.
The hottest podcast, and it's called The Island Shuffle. And you hear that the premise is that these two bozos, my name Bean,
My name James,
and we go and we watch Lost in the wrong order. And you say, well, I better, maybe I'll tune in around episode 100.
See if it got good.
See if it got good. Well,
you know, like how Lost did.
Like how Lost notoriously did. How Lost notoriously didn't hit its stride until episode 100. I wonder what episode 100 of Lost actually is.
Season 5.
Season 5.
Late season 5.
Late season 5. So probably fine. Probably
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
I love season 5.
Yeah.
Weirdly. The more the time goes on, the more I like it.
It sits with you. And
The
it's
more
just
I
like,
watch season 6, the more I like season 5.
it has that effect, huh? Season 5 is just like, Lost is a show that swings and it misses a lot of the time, but season 5 is them swinging and having a good time with
You
it,
know
I
what?
think.
I feel like Miles was the last good addition to the show.
I agree.
Miles is a great character, and I love to watch him.
I like to watch him react to the world around him.
Yeah.
He's very nonplussed by everything, which is a fun way to be.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's a fun attitude to be compared to like so many like of the new characters are just like baffled and asking questions, or like they know more than they let on.
Yeah.
But like Miles is just like, yeah, I don't know, we're at a temple. It's not really
Who cares?
It's fine. Kate and Sawyer, I don't really care where everyone is. I'm just poking the dirt with a stick. I'm having
oh my
fun.
God, he loves to poke that dirt.
I have bad news though.
What?
Miles isn't in this episode.
Miles isn't in this episode. No one good is. There's no Hurley.
There's no Hurley.
There's no Saeed.
There is Sawyer.
There's Sawyer. Yeah, so someone good is.
Someone good is
There's
here.
no Locke.
There's no Locke.
no Desmond.
There's a bit of Ben.
There's a bit of Ben.
A splash of Ben. And there's a great shot of Ben in this one.
And there's a lot of Jack.
Folks, for our 100th episode, we are doing the episode titled Stranger in a Strange Land. It's season 3, episode 9, and it is widely regarded as the worst episode of the show.
Wow. So I understand why people would call it that.
Yes.
I feel like it is absolutely not.
Yes.
But I feel like it is the worst, it's the worst backstory ever given.
For sure. Barring, I'm going to say maybe outside of like some of season 6 stuff.
Yeah.
This is by far the worst flashback.
I feel like season 6 almost doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'll say like it's absolutely not the worst episode of the show. It's like they'll do season 6 stuff and you're like, oh, the show can't come back from this. It's like the show can't be good after the temple.
Exactly.
Whereas they can do this and it's like the next episode could be great.
Exactly. In fact, funny thing, the reaction to this episode was so bad. First of all, people at the time Lost was kind of like, had kind of passed the point of like being this hot new thing, and people were kind of like dropping off a bit. But there were still people who were like, "Oh, it's still doing like interesting things." And obviously, people were following it till the very end.
Yeah.
It had a devoted fan base, let's say. Even the like diehards were like, "Yo, guys, you guys fucked up real bad."
Fucked it.
The reaction was so bad that, in fact, so you know how season 1, 2, and 3 are like 24 episodes long?
Yeah.
This is what made the producers go, "Oh, this is unsustainable. We need to set an end goal."
Okay,
And then they set a deal with ABC that at the time was like unusual, which is they said, "Okay, 3 more seasons after this, and then it's done." So they set a fixed end date.
Whoa. After this episode?
Shortly,
this was like a catalyst
Yes.
for it. Sort of like got the conversation going. It was
Ex-
like, okay, these characters can't stay interesting forever.
Exactly. We can't keep doing this, like introducing these new flashbacks, because we have officially run out of ideas.
Oh my God! Wow. So
And it probably also inspired them to change the format at the end of the season as well. Into,
oh
like,
yeah,
flash forward
because
and
next
stuff.
season is totally different.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, it's absolutely a great argument as to why like a 24 episode is just too long.
Yes.
And why like such a formulaic show like Lost, where it is it's structured to learn about the characters.
Yes.
It is inevitable that eventually you will have learned enough.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, I don't need these anymore. Maybe we can just move the story along.
No, instead they decided we're going to spend 20 minutes of this episode just hanging out with Jack in Thailand.
Yeah, so it's a nightmare. But we should begin there.
Yes.
Because this is the real meat and potatoes of the episode.
It really looms over the episode. The rest of the episode is like, it's not great, but it's like nothing like... It's nowhere near anything as bad as the flashback.
Yeah, the flashback is what it utterly like undoes any good that the fine plot driving present time is. It's like it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just things moving forward.
Exactly. But then
the flashback is so bizarre.
We open with Jack emerging from a hut. And he's standing on a beach. That's definitely not Hawaii. You might look at it and think, hey, this looks like a familiar beach to me. But
there's a hut there.
There's a hut, and there's a bunch of Thai people, and no plane wreckage anywhere. No. And Jack is wearing shades and a Hawaii shirt.
And he goes to see the boy with the bucket of beer.
The bucket of beer boy gives him a big old smile and says, hey, Dr. Jack, and gives him a bucket of beer for $1 or whatever it is.
A bucket of beer.
Bucket of beer.
Bucket of beer bucket.
I can't believe Four Nation reaches all the way out here, huh? Wow, we. Four Nation knows no borders. Sorry.
That's funny. So he takes his beer and then he goes about what he really came to Thailand for.
Yes.
And that is to learn to fly a kite.
To learn to fly a kite. He starts building a kite, but old clumsy hands Jack. He can't build
clumsy hands Surgeon Jack. He can't put a kite together.
You can sew a body together. You can put a bone back where it goes, but he can't. But he can't friggin' put a kite together. Oh my God.
And he's struggling with the kite. So you know that the sexy young Asian lady 20 feet away is giggling and looking over at him.
Oh boy. And they make eye contact, and it's oh boy. And then this lady comes over and helps Jack put together the kite, and then it starts flying, and they're like, oh wow, what a meet cute. What a happenstance.
What a meet cute.
What a happenstance.
The kite.
Meet kite.
Meet kite.
Kite cute.
And then the lady is like, hey, do you want to go eat a special dish?
No, first.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
First, she says, you're not from around here, are you?
Oh, my God.
And Jack is like...
What gave it away when I paid the small boy with American currency?
He does use American dollars, doesn't he? And then, Jack is just like flabbergasted, like, what? And then... she introduces herself. She says her name is Achara. And then they're off to dinner time. And Achara's brother feeds Jack a big old dish of something tasty looking.
In the street market restaurant.
And
nothing happens.
Nothing really happens. They have Jack and Achara have a conversation about, nothing. Like Jack is like, I came here to, like, I can't really fly a kite because my dad wasn't really the kite flying type.
And she's like, enough about your dad. I want to hear about you.
And Jack is like, well, I'm here to find myself or something.
And then someone goes up to Atra with an envelope that's definitely full of money and gives it to her and then leaves without saying a word. Well, no, they say a word.
They speak in the Thai, I guess. Yeah. And then Atra says, I have a gift. And then that's the end of that scene. Yeah. That's just how that scene ends.
And now Jack's in his hut on the beach, asleep.
Asleep in his hut on the beach. And in comes Achara. And Achara starts to undress and says, hey, sexy. And then the camera is very, very horny for the character of Achara. Yeah. Throughout the episode... The whole
camera's very horny for Atra.
Very consistently, this seems like the premise is like no holds barred. They wanted to go on vacation to Thailand, I guess, and then also
there'll be a sexy lady, and that'll be the episode.
Yes, that'll be the episode.
So what happens in the flashback? Jack and a sexy lady fuck. That is all.
That is all. And and they're just like, right, really? We have
okay, we'll add something in.
We'll add something in for the complainers. But what if this lady, she comes in and gets undressed, and it's like,
And then Jack's like, we've been doing this for a month, and we were both like, you have? It's been one afternoon.
It's been one afternoon to me, but to them, they have been. Jack went from a humble vacation to Thailand. Sure. All right. No, a weekend, a week maybe even.
A week.
What a fun time that must be. Like
now he's been living in a hut on the beach for a month.
Living in a beachside hut.
There is no running water.
Yes.
There is, I don't know. I don't think there's a bathroom.
It literally is just
there's no running water.
I cannot stress enough.
It's on sticks.
It's a standalone hut.
Yeah. It's the only hut on the beach, too. There's not a door because she just comes in.
Okay, so Jack came here and built this hut.
Yeah.
For sure.
To live in for a month. And he's like, maybe this will attract me a sexy lady. And then it does, and then they go out for dinner, and then it's a month later, and Jack is like, I still know nothing about you.
Yeah, and Atra goes from like very like sexy, like I'm lying on top of you, Jack. I cannot stress how like unattractive Jack is in this scene.
It's weird.
He is fucking awful to see. He's just like sweaty and gross.
Yeah. It's cute.
It's awful to look at, but it is cute.
It's cute. Young love, am I right?
God, yeah. Oh my God. I'm thinking about the like I don't know what the age gap would have been, but I assume it was probably not great.
Oh. How old is Jack in this show though? He's not that old. Like 30 something?
I guess Jack's not that old.
Yeah.
He's not like he's
not like 50.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's not like 19 or something.
Yeah,
she must be like mid-late 20s.
Yeah. It's not as it just the way it's shot looks gross.
Oh, it's just weird. Yeah. And I don't know. She's not a real character. They don't give her characteristics.
Yeah,
they
poor
make
actress.
her an enigma.
Yeah.
That is sexy.
Yeah, just like very like just what if you had the flatness of the season 6 Sideways?
Yeah.
Like the paper thinness of that mixed with the like racist exotification that comes whenever we go to anywhere non-Western.
Yeah.
Well, guess what, baby? We've got it all here.
Yeah.
It is
the flashback.
It really all is here. Anyways, Atra goes from like sexy into Jack, like kissing and moaning to like
kissing and moaning. So
to,
you get the idea of what this episode is all about.
It's all about that.
Kissing and moaning.
Kissing and moaning. Yeah. Just one for the writers to get a boner to, I guess.
Oh my God. You can just picture these Lost writers in a sweaty room. There's 14 of them in this 5x10 room, and they all have little MacBooks. They all have raging erections. They're all sweating.
Yeah. And then she takes off her dress, and then he crawls on Jack, and Jack's
kissing and moaning. Oh my God, it's insane though. It's like that's all that's here for us.
Yeah, it literally is like
it's the main attraction.
It truly is. This one's for the fellas. Yeah. It truly is.
This one's for the fellas. Yeah, get some Jack. Yeah.
What do people like in a hero? Well, they like it when they get laid. They like it when a sexy lady walks up and says, "How do you do?"
Yeah, it's like they just let someone else come and write the show for like one day. They're like, okay, 14-year-old, you get to write the show.
Okay, what if it was horny?
And he's like, what do you do? And she's like, essentially, I'm not telling you.
Yeah, and then Jack's like, we've been doing this for a month. And then Achara goes from sexy mode to like sullen and sad mode.
Yeah.
And she talks more about her gift and what she does. And
I have a gift.
And is unwilling to reveal what this gift is.
Yeah.
The next scene,
Jack is drinking from a paper bag.
Jack's drinking from a paper bag
in the streets of Phuket,
and stalking Achara through the streets.
Yeah.
And Achara walks down an alley and into a room, and Jack. There's been no problem so far, and then suddenly Jack decides, well, what if suddenly there's a problem now?
Yeah.
And says, all right, I'm gonna stalk you, and goes through like a beaded curtain, and it's all dimly lit. There's candles everywhere, and then Achara's like, you shouldn't have come here. And then Jack looks on the wall and sees, tattoo designs, and then people with like tattoos on them, and Jack goes, oh, it's a tattoo parlor. That was your big secret? That's all this was?
No, that's not my secret. I have a gift, Jack.
My gift is that these aren't just tattoos, Jack. I can see into someone's, I think I wrote down the exact wording.
I can see people or something.
I'm able to see who people are.
Oh my God.
And then I imprint it on them.
Read their frickin' Facebook bio.
And like, okay, sure.
I can see who people are. I go on their Instagram bio, and then they will tell me the letters of the closest airport to them, and also what university they went to. And that is who people are.
That is who people are.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I can see people's usernames. I can see their profile picture.
I can see their pictures.
I can see their profile picture, and I can see the funny border they decided to put around their profile picture.
Oh, to support me.
To support you. Put this border around your in your photo in support of James Brown.
Oh.
Well, you should do one of those, and then it's just the whole border is just a picture of your face.
Oh, that'd be cute. Oh, that would be so nice. Oh, stop it. No.
Nice. It would be sweet.
I want once a year across all of social media. It would be Frodo Photo Day.
Yes.
And you have to make your profile or display picture a picture of Frodo.
Oh, man.
And then everyone will like send messages to each other that's just, hey, Frodo. And people send back, hey, Frodo, how are you doing?
Oh, I really like that. I really
Frodo
do like
Photo Day.
Frodo Photo Day.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the idea that everybody has a different photo of Frodo just on hand for the occasion. You gotta find a unique screen cap.
Any still from the movie.
Any still from the movie.
I mean, it goes many frames per second, so you have
got
millions to choose from.
You got ample. Those movies are long.
Long. Use the director's cut if you have to.
I want to use a photo where Frodo's in the background really tiny or blurred out.
Oh, Frodo.
And it's like, and then it's like, who's that? Is that Legolas's ear? No, it's got to be Frodo.
That's Frodo. Hey, Frodo.
Hey, buddy. There was also, this reminds me that there used to actually be like, December was, for a couple of years for some reason, make your profile photo a Pokemon month.
Oh,
and that was fun.
I do remember that.
I would do that.
Yeah.
And then I would see a bunch of my friends be their favorite Pokemon.
And now it's gone.
It's gone because Facebook is bad now.
Well, they're promoting the James's Face border.
Yes, of course, of course.
Doctors Without Borders, you haven't seen my face border yet. Take that, DWB.
Got him.
Got him.
Got him. Well, if you ever need treatment, hope you get a doctor that does have borders.
You're gonna have to cross through a photo of my face.
So tattoos.
So tattoos.
How about them?
She's like, I see people, and then Jack gets really aggressive.
Yes.
And like actually slams her up against the wall, and then is like, tattoo me now.
Tattoo me. Can you see into my soul?
Yeah.
Can
What do I?
And Achara's like, stop. And then eventually Achara succeeds and goes like, hey, I see that you're a leader. You're a great man, but it makes you lonely.
And it's like, that's generic as all shit.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think it's true.
I can see that there's love in your future, but maybe not.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It's very horoscope.
You might come into money or poverty.
Yes. I see a great opportunity on your horizon. That's all.
But then the night comes.
It's not good.
No. And Jack's like, tattoo it on me.
Tattoo it on me, and Achara says, if I do this, I'm breaking the sacred something.
Yeah, the idea is that he's not allowed to have this because he's not Thai and he's not a part of their culture, and it's like a sacred cultural thing.
Which is
not true.
Not true. Like
they made this up.
I feel like they made this up.
I googled quickly like Thai tattoo culture, Thai, and it's like, I couldn't really find anything.
Okay.
Maybe maybe I didn't see the right things. Maybe I'm not even allowed to see those Google search results. But
they got it so hidden in the Thai deep web.
yeah.
No, it really like. I'll claim to not be an expert on Thai culture, but I will also say that this seems like some bullshit that they made up.
It really seems like they made it up.
Because they were like, this is mysterious and Asian-y, right?
Exotic.
Yeah, exactly. What if she had
it's
a
an
tattoo?
ancient ritual.
Yeah.
But the outsider wants it.
Oh no. And so okay, so here's what it is. Achara says, if I do this, there will be consequences. And then Jack says, there always are. And then, plop, she does it.
She does it. She gives them a tattoo.
And then wake up the next day on my beautiful, lonely, isolated hut.
The one hut in the beach.
Stroll out to the bucket boy who's got all the beers and ask him for a beer. And he says no and flees.
He runs away.
And he's like, what's the problem? Aren't we best friends?
And then I turn around and see the Thai men coming at me.
5 of them in formation coming directly for little old me. And what I ever do, what I do, but violently harass my partner into performing a sacred ritual for me that I'm not allowed to have.
Yeah. So then it's her brother is like the one who speaks, and he's like, I don't know. He rolls up Jack's sleeve, and then he sees the tattoo. And then they all just kick the shit out of Jack.
They really kick the shit out of Jack, which I'll admit, good to see.
Yeah. It's fun.
It's fun.
He's bloody in the face. He really gets hit a lot.
And then the brother says, you get out of here. You're not welcome back in Thailand ever again. You understand? And that's that. Jack is banned from Thailand. And
that's the whole flashback.
I really, I went into this thinking like, we've seen some like really bad shit, like really bad stuff. Is this really going to be as bad as I remember it being? And it was somehow worse.
Very, very bad.
It was very bad.
It's just dumb, and it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't mean anything. Ostensibly, it solves the mystery of where did Jack get his tattoos? A mystery no one was asking.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Also, should we, I sort of want to, I know it doesn't work in terms of chronology, but just address the other sort of 2 things that happened around Jack's tattoos.
Sure, yeah.
Because there's one, so Jack is in a cage with the others.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's this mysterious lady who we never see before or after. Yeah. And firstly, the first thing that I find very strange is she says like, oh, you have Chinese tattoos. Do you know what they mean? And she says Chinese.
Yeah.
And
it is Chinese. And
he got it in Thailand, and it's an ancient Thai practice. And I Googled it. They speak Thai in Thailand.
Yeah, I was like, for a second, I was like, am I mixing up Thailand and Taiwan in my head? Did I do a racism?
Yeah.
And like, no, I think they just might have.
Yeah, he got a Chinese tattoo. This ancient cultural practice in Thailand. I don't understand.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, or sorry, were you gonna say something?
I wasn't gonna say. I was gonna go on to the next.
And then the other thing is at the end we find out what the tattoo says. And do you know exactly what it says? I don't want to get the wording wrong.
The exact thing it says, I have it written down right here. I actually don't, but I do remember the gist of it. The gist of it is he walks among us, but he is not one of us.
And then,
which like first of all, I see into your soul. And like what I see is that you're an American and not Thai. Like that seems, that doesn't seem. I don't know how much of a gift you need.
She gave 2 versions of reading Jack's soul. Yeah. Both of them fucking awful.
Yeah, she's I'll throw a side eye at her gift is what I'll say.
Yeah.
And then in like basically she says like she walks among us, but he's not one of us. Your tattoos. That's what they say. And then Jack says. That's what they say. It's not what they mean.
And it's like, what are you talking about, Jack?
Okay, what do they mean?
Yeah. Do you need another beating from the Thai boys? Because I am certain that that's what they mean. What is the subtext that I am missing here?
That's what they say. That's not what they mean. They mean, I made a grand mistake in Thailand.
Yeah.
I was having a fun time having sex with this sexy lady, and then I harassed her violently.
That's
And
true.
that's what it
should
means.
say that.
Yeah.
They mean, I had a grand time in Thailand having sex with this sexy lady. And if I didn't mess it up, I could have had 4 to 19 more flashbacks where I just have sex with the sexy Thai lady. But because of my mistake in Thailand, we had to cap the show at 6 seasons.
Imagine that's the
Fucking
rest of the
weird.
show. Every subsequent episode is just like, oh, I wonder what Jack's getting up to in Thailand now. Keeps trying new dishes.
Yeah. Every morning gets 2 beers from the beer boy.
The beer boy grows older before our eyes.
He's like, still got American money, eh, Jack? My God. I just love the thought of because apparently this is this ancient, meaningful cultural practice, and this lady has a gift, and she etches it onto people. Is everyone just walking around with this thing on your arm that says I went through struggle but came out better?
Yeah.
Or
live, love, laugh.
Yeah, I guess that people are doing that here too.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's just
not-
it's just tacky.
Yeah, it really is just fully the writers don't know, learned everything they know about Asia from movies and comics.
Yeah. Oh my God. From one Tintin comic.
What?
Set in Africa.
Tintin goes to the moon. That's what it says. It's not what it means.
It's not what it means. Yeah. It means sexy singles in Thailand. On the beach, looking for men who can't fly kites.
Oh, everything about it. Oh, I forgot about the kite. When he leaves the hut, he just has
the kite.
he has his bag, and we see the kite poking out of it.
He has 1 backpack worth of things for his entire month in Thailand.
And it's a beer in a paper bag and a kite.
It's insanity.
You're just gonna go to Thailand with a beer and a kite and see what happens. Who
That
knows?
sounds like a Sawyer move. I would like it if Sawyer did
If
that.
it was Sawyer, then I would be like, okay, this is good now, actually. But because it's a Jack.
It is funny how you literally could make this whole plot better by just replacing Jack with Sawyer, and then you're like, well, at least now it makes sense.
At least yeah.
Sawyer has sex with sexy ladies.
Yeah,
We know this
of course,
already.
this is canonical.
Yeah.
Sawyer does fuck.
Yeah, so that checks out.
But trying to make this clumsy American is so irresistible out of fucking Jack Shepherd, the asshole alcoholic
Sorry,
who
Matthew
strangles his
Fox.
dad for
Yeah.
fun.
Who strangles his dad for fun.
Or he shoves him in an AA meeting or whatever
Yeah.
he does.
I wouldn't say that was for fun.
I would, art is open to interpretation.
That was very tabloid of you, where it's Jack one time shoves his dad in an AA meeting, and it's Jack Shepherd strangles his dad for fun. I love the for fun.
For gigs.
That makes
like,
it so much worse.
Jack, why did you do it? Why'd you interrupt my AA meeting? You sent me on a drinking spiral that ultimately ended with me dying in an alley in Australia. For fun.
I want to have a little fun.
I was just bored. Wanted to have some kicks.
So that's the flashback.
That's the flashback. The notorious, famous, infamous flashbacks of Stranger in a Strange Land. What happens in the present? There's some stuff.
What does happen? So Jack is still on whatever island
Yeah,
where the bears lived once.
Small island with the cages.
Yeah.
Where he has performed the surgery on Ben, the spinal surgery, and Sawyer and Kate have escaped. But Jack has stayed behind because of reasons.
I don't know. Because he didn't want to go. Because of Juliet, I think.
Yes.
Because he's concerned for Juliet's well-being.
Exactly. Something along those lines. So Tom comes in and kind of says so Jack is still being kept in the empty aquarium with the glass wall.
Oh my God.
Tom kind of comes in and says all right, we're gonna move you to the cages because of so we can keep a better eye on you or something like that. And Jack says, "Oh, whatever. If you're gonna kill me, just kill me. Have the decency to say so." And Tom says, "What kind of friggin' people do you think we are that we just kill ya?" And and Jack says, "The kind of people who steal babies, steal children, kidnap pregnant women, hang Charlie from a tree, punch me really hard."
Do you think they were hanging Charlie from a tree because he was like stepping on their game of like stealing babies and shit?
I think so.
They're like, hey, that's our thing. We're gonna kill you, copycat.
That's exactly it. We gotta send a message. Nobody steals babies around here but us.
Yeah, exactly. It's they're like protecting their corner.
I don't know if there's a funnier, like, common thread in this show than baby theft.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally like it's a cartoon villain thing to do.
They do. Oh, I know. And they do it so much.
They do it so much. The others try to justify it as like they're giving it the better life. And like it happens all the time. Babies are constantly stolen. It's a wild thing to like just be
I feel like a baby is
keep
like
dipping back into
stolen
that well.
every season.
Every season
In a way, at the very least, where it's like season 6. I don't think the baby is stolen, but he's definitely handed off.
The baby is... There's no...
Season 1, Claire's
babies.
kidnapped.
Oh, yeah. Season 6, Claire is kind of kidnapped in the alternate world, sort of.
Oh, yeah.
His baby
so
gets...
baby's stolen every season.
Yeah, baby's stolen every season. Season 4, Kate steals the baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Season
5.
Season 3, babies are getting like all this nonsense.
Oh,
Season 2,
maybe season 6 doesn't have a baby steal.
I don't think
Because Aaron's just forgotten by
Aaron's just
6.
forgotten, and like a reason, like a MacGuffin for Kate to do stuff and Claire to do stuff. But yeah, I love. It's just so funny. I'll never get over the baby theft.
I feel like Aaron is just gonna like, he'll be like 14 years old. No, he'll be 16 years old. He'll be with his friends smoking weed for the first time.
Yeah.
And then it'll be quiet. No one's really saying much. And then he just like sort of falls back and smacks himself on the forehead. And he's like, "Whoa, who's my mom?"
You guys ever get stolen?
I feel like I've been stolen a lot.
I feel like I keep getting stolen. I don't remember a lot from being a baby, but I seem to remember getting stolen a lot.
Oh my God, where are those people?
Oh my God. Okay, I have 2 proposals for if a Lost like revival ever happens. And one of them revolves around an event that happens in the finale that we'll talk about.
Okay.
The second one is just like Aaron, Desmond's kid, and Gion are all they're all...
And who? Who's the last one?
Son and Jin's kid.
Yeah.
They all grow up together and they all fucking solve crimes and
lit.
do shit.
I love that.
They all hang out and smoke weed and solve crimes.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. That's my plan for the kids.
And we never have to see a character from Lost.
No, it's just those 3. There's no mention of the island.
No.
No sense of destiny. The closest thing is that they all like fate brings them all together.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, we're just gonna smoke weed and solve crimes, I think.
Oh my God, that's lit.
And that's Q's, Lindelof, get at me. Get at us. We got ideas.
Who are the 3 kids? So there's Son and Jin's baby.
Son and Jin's baby,
Aaron.
Gion.
Who's the other baby?
Charlie, Desmond's kid. Desmond and Penny's
Desmond's kid. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I think those are the only like young kids. Maybe Walt could be like their mentor, and he's like an adult now.
Walt could be Master Splinter.
Yeah, Walt is like sending them on missions and stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He's like, hey, we got a burglary down the way, kids.
And Michael can have 5 episodes where he essentially tanks the show.
I hope so. Yes, he shows up at the end and he's like, I'm back from the dead, and Jacob's back too. And then it just goes to shit. And then they're like, what if this was an alternate reality inside the dream of Claire one time?
Oh my God.
And they go, whoa.
Oh.
And the island comes to life and says, I'm God. And then...
I'm God. The island's first words.
The island's first words. It's always implied that the island has some kind of living will that it's exerting on its those that are in tune with it. What if it just fucking talked out loud and
Yeah.
said, "What's good?"
Charlie, time to die.
Charlie, you should die. I'm trying to kill you, Charlie.
Die, Charlie.
You gotta die.
Reminds me of Charlie the Unicorn. You know that?
I do, and
Yeah.
it's been a long time since I thought about that.
Yeah. Well, you can stop thinking about it
All
now.
right, I'm gonna stop thinking about it. I think. Instead, I'm gonna start thinking about Tom. Jack is like listing off this litany of the other's crimes, and then Tom kind of smoothly goes over and taps the glass and says, "See this glass house you're living in, Jack? Why don't I get you some stone?"
And it's like, okay, I get the funny joke.
Yes. Funny joke, well executed, knock it out of the park. Bit of a
What?
false equivalency.
Yeah. What? How's he in a metaphorical glass house? That implies that he's just as bad as them. All he did was save Ben's life.
He saved Ben's life. They did kill Ethan after Ethan kidnapped Claire and
Yeah.
nearly killed Charlie.
And wasn't Ethan killed as sort of an accident
Ethan was killed by Charlie.
by Charlie?
As they had him dead to rights and they were like,
Yeah.
talk, and then Charlie was just like, well, actually, what if I just killed him? 'Cause
Wow,
I'm mad.
cool.
So like not cool.
Yeah.
Not exactly. Consider also
Not the same as the people who,
have tormented them from the bushes.
and
for
also,
all
I
season.
mean, murdered the entire Dharma Initiative. and
Murdered the
put them
entire
in a-
Dharma Initiative.
pit.
Murdered like many of the people.
And murder everyone who steps foot on that island.
Exactly, just a lot of murder.
Yeah.
And you can argue that everything in that the survivors have been doing has been in some form of self-defense. At the very least. So it's a bit of a false equivalency.
Yeah.
But also,
We have it.
we have it, and that's fine. Shout out to Tom. So Jack's now in the cage outside. And Juliet comes up to him and says, "Hey, here's the deal. Ben's trying to heal from his spinal surgery, but he got infected, and I need you to help, Jack. And I need you to help because I'm in trouble. And that's all." And Jack says, "No. Nuh-uh, I won't help him.
I won't help him.
I won't help him, and I won't help you. So why don't you frig off, buddy?" And then Isabel comes along.
Isabel, who we never see before or
Yes.
after.
No,
Is
I
that
think
true?
this is a completely unique character in this episode.
Really?
Isabel comes along and
Yeah.
says, "I'm the sheriff here."
She's like so. She seems so important for someone who doesn't play a role in anything.
That's kind of the I mostly don't mind this stuff.
I
except-
like her character, honestly.
I-
She's interesting.
Yeah, I wish that they brought her back. I wish they brought this whole thing back.
She seems like the number 2.
Yeah, she seems really important. Isabel comes along and is like, first of all, Isabel does the whole, "What? Here, I see your tattoo. Wowee." And then and then says "I'm the sheriff around here. And around here we have a justice system, and you see Juliet is on trial, and we need you to come with us to answer a few questions." And so Jack comes along with them. He comes along to sit in a dank little office with Isabel, Tom, and Juliet. And Tom is like, "All right, here's the scoop. When we were doing surgery on Ben, Jack here said that Juliet was planning to kill Ben, and that's what I heard." And Isabel says, "Is this true, Jack?" And Jack says, "No, it's not. It's not true. And I was doing it because turning you guys against each other was my best way of creating chaos against each other. This is a lie."
Yeah.
And Isabel knows this is a lie and asks why she's lying. And Jack says, "Yeah, I'd really like to go back to my cage now."
That's that scene.
That's that scene.
It's fine.
It's a fine scene. It's an intense scene because we see a lot of reactions of Juliet kind of silently reacts and acknowledges the lie.
Mhm.
It's pretty good. Then we get a weird scene where remember the flight attendant? Remember the flight attendant?
Oh yeah, I forgot about this scene.
Yeah.
It seems like a dream.
It
doesn't add up.
It doesn't make sense.
It shouldn't exist.
It doesn't make sense with anything.
No.
Cindy, the flight attendant, who
You might know her from the 19 times they show her give Jack an extra shot of vodka.
Yes, on the plane. And she's here. And turns out she got kidnapped, I guess. And
She like joined the others.
She joined the
which I
others.
didn't know was an option.
and she got some kids with her, and she's like, "We're here and we're
Where
having
did the
fun."
kids come from?
The kids, they came from
Are they all dead the next time we?
They all came from the tail section. And when we saw that like long, like here's what the tail section was up to, kids were getting kidnapped.
Okay.
They weren't getting killed necessarily, but we didn't know what was happening to the kids.
And they were like, "Give me that flight attendant too."
Give me that flight attendant too.
I heard she gives out free booze.
Got any shots? And that's how she's just staying alive. She just has endless shots
she
of
has
vodka
so
from somewhere.
much alcohol.
Just so much free alcohol, and the others love it. The others have never been drunk before. They sip it and they go, "Whoa, I'm dizzy."
Wobbly pop.
Bit of a wobbly pop for old Poppy.
This is funny juice, miss.
Wow. And Cindy says, "Hey, there's more where that came from," and that's Cindy's story that we just invented.
So this is the only time we see Cindy, right?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
And
maybe she has like a cameo in that ending montage. I don't know.
What does she say? She's like, Jack.
She's like, Jack. First off, she says, "Hey, Jack, it's been a while," and Jack's like, "What are you doing here? This is wacky." And then Cindy first says, "The kids want to know how Ana Lucia is doing."
Oh my god.
And Jack is like, "I don't know what. Shut up. What's happening? Explain yourself." And then Cindy says, "We're here to watch."
Watch what?
That would be a great question for Jack to ask. Instead, what Jack says in an angry voice is, "If you've got something to watch, Cindy, go watch it." Which is
awful.
Awful.
Go watch it. It's like, what is happening?
Go watch. Like, Cindy's just gonna be like, "No, it was this. I'm trying to explain to you." But
watching you in a cage.
I'm watching you.
It's a zoo.
What? What? Is that what they're here for? They're just like here to sit and be like, "Here's Jack, guys. Check him out."
Come on, kids. We're gonna go watch the man in the cage.
Today we're gonna go look at a mad spinal surgeon with tattoos. Ooh, you'll never guess how he got them.
Oh my god.
I think it went a little something like this.
Did he fuck his way into the tattoos?
Well, you might think so, but he also got there with unearned aggression as well.
Yeah.
He was really
Bizarre madness.
Really mean and suspicious for no reason.
Yeah. Oh my god. So then they leave, and that is just never addressed again.
That's that.
That scene is such a nothing scene.
It's so weird. The episode is otherwise like pretty fine, but that scene, like, or you know,
I forgot about that scene.
Yeah,
honestly, because it doesn't do anything. It doesn't fit, and just the idea that Cindy's with them doesn't fit.
It doesn't make. I will mention that we have seen Cindy at like the temple.
Okay.
So
at
like
the temple.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So like she comes back eventually.
So she comes back like fucking 3 seasons later whenever the show is garbage already.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's like they didn't use her for anything.
It's very weird. It's a very like it's a cool idea to be like this. You thought this was just a one-off scene person in the pilot, but actually we're gonna keep bringing her back. And you thought she was dead. She's with the tail section. What happened to her next? Oh, she's. But like again, it doesn't amount to anything really.
It seems like they were like they'll read the scripts, then they'll say this script seems bad. Honestly, I think this will be a bad episode.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put Cindy in it.
Now we're
she goes in only the worst episodes.
The old salt on the dry steak.
Yeah, the old salt on the dry steak. My God, yeah. Oh, delicious.
Nothing goes with dry steak just like a big bucket of salt.
Big bucket of salt.
Fixes it right up.
Oh, yeah. Yum, yum, yum,
yum,
yum,
yum,
yum,
yum, I say. I lick it up and I say, yummy to me. So, that happens and it's of no consequence. Alex comes through. Alex breaks the camera and says, "All right, Jack, it's just you and me. Let's talk. I hate my dad, but you saved his life. What's the deal? Why'd you do it? After all he's done to you, you should hate him. Why'd you save his life?" And then Jack says, "It's my turn to ask questions, actually. Never mind your questions. I'm going to ask questions." And he asks questions like, I think he asks, like, what are they doing with Juliet?
Yeah.
And the answer,
it's all about Juliet.
It's all about Juliet. And the answer is she's on trial for her crimes. She killed one of our people, and the verdict is probably going to be they don't take too kindly to any of that here. So she's probably going to get executed, honestly. And then Jack says, "All right, well, I'll answer your question. I did it because I said I would. Now get me to Ben, because I got a plan. So Alex unlocks the cage, takes Jack to Ben. Ben, who's lying dormant on the table, and his
With
back's
an
all
infection.
nasty infection,
Yeah.
gross to see. And Jack says, "Hey Ben, you know what you need right now? You need a doctor by your side at all times, and you guys don't have a surgeon at all, do you? I'd be more impressed if you guys had a surgeon." And then Ben hits him with the old, "Oh, we used to have a surgeon. His name was Ethan, and you guys shot him."
And it's like, why did you send Ethan to infiltrate the people? He's your surgeon.
Why would you send your only surgeon to go on like a deep cover sting operation?
You should have people who that's their job.
Yeah, that's the whole like what?
That'd be funny if they send the man with the eye patch, Mikhail.
Yeah, I would love that.
And then they're like, "Who are you?" "I'm Mikhail," and everyone would be like, "I think I would remember a man with an eye patch."
I think I would remember a Russian man with an eye patch who was in the Soviet war or whatever.
Yeah.
What was Mikhail? Mikhail had like a backstory, right?
Yeah, he was in a war.
He was in a war. He had some fun in the war, you know.
Fun in the sun.
Fun in the sun.
With the gun.
With the gun. Wow. Mikhail, the story of Mikhail. I miss Mikhail. I don't know if I'll ever see him again, and that makes me sad.
I don't think we will. I think he's done.
I think he's done. I believe Mikhail's done. And you know what? Breaks my damn heart. But you know what doesn't break my damn heart?
Achy breaky heart.
Basically, Jack says, Ben's like, "All right, listen. I've already promised you a ticket off the island, and I'm pretty much at your mercy right now. So what do you want?" And Jack says, "Here's the deal. You gotta not execute Juliet. You gotta promise me not to execute Juliet. If you do that,
Okay.
I'll fix you right up right here, right now, and I'll stay by your side until you're healed." And then Ben says, "All right, I'll write it down right here." And then they go to, and then Jack and Alex rush over to the trial room, the courtroom.
Yeah.
So this is like the one kind of interesting thing about the episode, this idea that like, the others have some kind of weird justice system.
Yeah.
That
It never comes back.
it never comes back.
No.
It's such a cool idea, but like it never is mentioned again ever.
And you get to peek in, and like Juliet's like sitting up on a thing.
There's
and
a bunch of people
Isabel's-
there. There's like
yeah.
a podium. It's a whole
weird.
to-do.
It's a trial.
It's a trial. It's an honest to goodness trial. And
I guess maybe it's like a trial, like they're trying it out. They're like, maybe we'll have a justice system. I don't know.
yeah, you know, someone had to do a trial.
And then they tried it out, and they're like, "Oh, Ben just vetoes it. Never mind.
Yeah,
we won't do this anymore."
Yeah, we'll just listen to whatever Ben says. It's fine. So yeah, Isabel reads Ben's thing and is like, "Okay, so we're not gonna execute Juliet, but we are gonna mark her." And
Oh
and-
no.
Oh no, and you know what that means. And so then the next scene we see is Jack in the cage, and Juliet comes by and is like, "Hi, I brought you a sandwich. Here you go." And Jack is like, "Show me where they marked you. Oh my gosh." And Juliet like lifts up her shirt, and on her back they've just put a little butthole there.
Yeah, they like branded her with the
With a
butthole.
little butthole, and it's just like the ultimate mark of sin.
Yeah.
Pooping is not a crime. That's
No.
all I have to say.
And then Jack's like, "You see that aloe vera plant over there? Get it. Give it to me." And he like applies aloe vera to Juliet. And it's like, Juliet's a doctor.
Juliet is a doctor.
Also,
Juliet,
you're just aloe veraing her.
this is like baby's first like pharmacy adventure.
Yeah,
Like
it's
what do you
weird.
like? Like as if it's like no. It has to be me that applies the
Yeah.
aloe vera. I'm a doctor.
They definitely have polysporin.
They do. They for sure do.
She's
Dharma
like,
brand
"Jack,
polysporin.
I have real medicine."
Yeah. And then they have a conversation while this is happening, and like, what are they saying? They're saying nothing
Nothing.
important. They're just like, what? They're just like, what are we gonna do? And they're like, we're gonna get off this island, you and me. You,
Oh yeah.
I know you're one of them, but also you want to get off this island, so that's our deal. Together we go. And then they say, all right, since your friends know where this is, we gotta pack up and head on back to the main island. And so we
They
get
have this weird fucking montage.
a really twisted montage. This is the montage where Jack says, "That's what they say. That's not what they mean."
Oh my god.
And then and then they get on the submarine or a boat or whatever, and the music is
It's
really
insane. It's lit.
like sometimes like. So for instance, the last episode we watched ends with a montage of everyone getting off the plane.
Yeah.
And the music isn't really bringing it.
Yeah.
The music isn't like conveying the weight of like, oh, these characters are finally landing in LA in this weird world. It's like just kind of like coasting along. Here the music is fucking working overtime.
Going, and it's like, oh,
It's
the others are going home?
The others are going home, and they're on a boat.
They're on a boat?
It's like these massive soaring strings. It's like this beautiful composition, and it's just like
for nothing.
It's completely like it's bizarre.
We're essentially like driving in a car from Montreal to Ottawa.
That's all
it's
is.
Like, okay, we're just gonna go back to where we were. It's like that montage if someone was on the Greyhound bus.
Yeah, they're just like looking out the window, being like, "Damn, excited to get to that one cabin between Toronto and Ottawa and get a bad sandwich."
Oh my god! It's like if you're on the Greyhound bus and they're playing like the Star Wars like operatic like ah ah ah.
Yeah, and you're just like, "Damn, this is significant.
Yeah.
This is a transitional journey into my life." And it's like, no, it's just the weekend, dude.
Yeah,
Calm
it's the
down.
Weekend.
Anyways,
there's one more little subplot.
there's a very little
very boring.
subplot. It's pretty boring. Kate and Sawyer are escaping.
And they have Carl.
They have Carl is with them. Carl's with them.
Carl's with them.
Guys, Carl's here. Remember Carl, our rebel teen boy who loves Alex so much?
But this time, Carl's two things. He's sick, and also he's sad.
He's sick and sad. He's sick of this life, and he's sad about this life. Kate's basically like, "No, Sawyer, turn this boat around. We have to go back for Jack." And Sawyer's like, "They're gonna kill us on sight, so that's a bad idea. We're staying the course." And then Kate's like, then they get close to the island, and Kate's like, "No, go around, and then we can get to the camp even faster and alert lock right away so that we can get back to Jack right away." And Sawyer's like, "It's gonna get dark soon. I can't see her in the dark, and also I don't know the layout of this island, so we're just gonna make camp and chill out." And Kate's like, "No, we have to go back right," and that's the whole deal.
That's the whole
Kate wants to go
thing.
back, and Sawyer's like, "We gotta stay the course." And
Carl cries.
And the whole time Carl is there, like being like, "You guys gotta stop fighting. I'm a Carl. I miss Alex. A boo-hoo." And then
Carl cries about Alex for a minute.
Carl cries about Alex, and then Kate goes over to comfort her, and then Sawyer's like, "No, Kate, boys only."
Oh my god!
Not joking.
Punches Carl.
Not joking. Boys only is literally what Sawyer says. It's bad. And then Sawyer comes along and gives him some nicknames that Carl doesn't. This is kind of a funny moment where
He's just mean to Carl.
he's just mean to Carl. He gives him nicknames, but Carl, because he's lived on the island the whole life, doesn't recognize what he's talking about.
Yeah, he doesn't know any references.
He doesn't know any references.
So he references the Brady Bunch, which, to be fair, I don't know any Brady Bunch references.
I would admittedly, if you just pulled a like Brady Bunch reference that wasn't Brady or the Bunch,
Yeah.
I would be pretty lost.
Even most of the Bunch I'm not very familiar with.
No, I don't know any of the Bunch. You'd have to just say the Bunch, and I would
The
be like, "Oh
Bunch,
yeah,
yeah.
a bunch of them." I assume there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, I think they're all Brady.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
God, fuck off.
Yeah. And then Carl looks at the stars.
Carl looks at the stars.
And Alex looks at them too.
Did Sawyer have any other funny moments? Oh yeah, Sawyer also calls Alex Sally Slingshot in this scene.
Yeah. But it's a pretty nothing side plot.
It's pretty much nothing. There's also like, Sawyer ends up saying like, "I let Carl go because don't act like because it was sentimental, because I let him go because he was a target is why." And then Kate's like, "We have to go back. Don't." And Sawyer's like, "You feel bad about sleeping with me, don't you?" And Kate's like, "I don't know." And that's that.
Yeah.
That's
That's
that.
what Kate's like. It's like nothing. Yeah.
It's nothing.
It's whatever.
It's fine. It's fun to see Sawyer, but it's ultimately really nothing.
But you know what I think, actually?
What's that?
I think that this episode might have raised 2 to 3 questions.
I'm
4 questions.
I'm very curious about what questions this episode. I imagine they are all related to the criminal justice system that is never addressed ever again. But hit me with some Lostpedia questions, please, and I'll try to answer them for you.
Why were the tail section survivors watching Jack?
Oh, tell me that's an ambiguous.
Yeah, it's ambiguous.
Yeah.
They suggest that the others may have placed them there so they could watch the behavioral nature of an unconverted survivor, Okay.
No.
Alternatively, the others may have placed them there to further get into Jack's mind, showing how the tail survivors had changed amongst the others, and to treat Jack like an animal in a cage, which they don't really do.
That's not a thing that has, even in this whole, like, they're in cages arc, is not a thing at
No.
all. Also, I love the phrasing, the others placed them there.
I know.
Like,
They're
they,
like, okay, you go here now.
Yeah, exactly. Go out. Wait till you see this.
It's like in The Sims whenever you pick someone up and just move them.
That's exactly, they just drag and drop them
Yeah.
there.
Oh my god.
uh,
Why are the tail section survivors so compliant with the others?
they are integrated into they've joined them. They're the others now.
Ambiguous.
Fuck yeah. Woo!
Due to meeting Jacob's verification for emotional affinity for the island.
What? Now that now, excuse me? Excuse me?
I will repeat myself.
Give me that one more time, please.
Due to meeting Jacob's verification for the emotional affinity for the island.
Oh, Cindy just loves the island. That's it.
It may be they were simply persuaded to their point of view.
Oh yeah, they just had to talk to
So
him.
the first they, I think, is the tail section,
Yes.
and then the there
Yes.
is in reference to the
others. Yeah, okay. That's like everything except for the first like segment is sensible. Like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, they probably just got convinced that the others are right. And like, yeah, that checks out. But then like the idea of like, oh, the verification process.
of the
I
affinity for the island.
I picked out people who just love this island the most of all.
What becomes of Carl?
He fucking goes back to get Alex out. And
He lives out in the woods and maintains contact with Alex, who provides him with food.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Yeah, he's exiled.
That's nice. I remember that. That's cute.
And we have one self-implied.
Please. Oh, I hope it's tattoo related.
Why was Jack punished for getting the tattoos?
'Cause he was a big dick. He was a gross, mean man who deserved punishment.
Because he's an outsider and it went against the rules of Achara's people.
Yeah. Self-implied, of course.
I like how that's self-implied whenever that one was just stated. It wasn't implied.
Yeah, that's not like,
It's like whenever I told you I was hungry, I was implying that I was hungry.
Exactly. It's extremely like
The implication here is that the words I say mean what they literally mean.
it's extremely like that school of like cinematic like analysis that's like, if you think about it, when this character says they're going to die, it foreshadows their death.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Wow.
But like, damn, you really, jeez, this movie is deep. You're right.
I hate to say it, but that, for some disgusting reason, makes me want to watch another episode of Lost.
You know what? I'm right there with you. You know what? We've got about 21 more, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly how many, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We're in the final 6 of this
Oh my
godforsaken show, this monumental, terrible show. What do you say we watch another episode?
So I did 1 to 30 on random.org. I
Sure.
got 21, which I feel like we might have watched.
21. We, in fact, have not watched this one.
Oh.
This is Season 4, Episode 13. There's No Place Like Home, the finale. Part 2 of 3.
Oh my god.
So it's going to be just a weird little...
in the middle.
It's just going to be a weird in-the-middle thing that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't have a beginning or end.
Yes, that's exactly right. It'll be great.
Okay, it'll be better than this week at least.
I'm hoping it'll be a little better than this, but there's only one way to find out.
To watch it next week
To watch it.
on the Island Shuffle.
Hey, next week on the Island Shuffle, why don't you tune in to the Island Shuffle?
For Island Shuffle 101.
And if you like the Island Shuffle, you'll love to follow us on Twitter at Island Shuffle, or even still better yet than that, follow us on Facebook.com/The Island Shuffle.
You'll love that.
You'll also love following me on Twitter at Barrier Trio.
And me at James Brown.
Yes, famous Twitter users, both of us. Gosh, what else? We also want to shout out Noisepace.xyz. Thank you, Matt, for hosting all 100 episodes, plus that one bonus episode on your lovely little podcast network.
That is nice.
And I also want to, first of all, patreon.com/Noisepace. consider sending $1 or $2 Matt's way, because he hosts all these lovely podcasts out of his little old pocket. Podcasts like Tuning Fork about Pitchfork, Giants Confirmed about They Might Be Giants, or The Stick about Homestar Runner, and many more podcasts than that. Take a look. They're all good. IMO.
Doesn't get better than that.
Doesn't get better than that.
Doesn't get better than that.
Doesn't get better than that. Doesn't get better than that. Have we ever sung that on the podcast before?
I don't know.
That for a while, that was like our little like.
We sang it a lot.
We sang it a lot whenever we were like getting ourselves amped up for the podcast.
Geared to go.
Yeah, just nothing riles you up like singing "Doesn't Get Better Than That" to the theme of the Lost end credit song. Doesn't get better than that. So.
That's as good as it gets.
That's as good as it gets.
No.
Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's the episode.
That's it.
That's it. Thank you for listening. Whether
all 100 of you.
Whether this is your 100th Island Shuffle episode or your very first, we appreciate the listen. Consider giving us a rating on iTunes or any of your podcast providers of choice, and leaving a review behind. I'm told that is helpful. Tell your friends, tell your family, or
Tell
don't.
your foes.
Tell your foes. Tell your worst enemy about this podcast. Force them to listen to all 100 episodes back